What's going on, Bat Fam? Welcome back to the Builder Trader YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be doing a weekly outlook. If you're new to the channel, I will be going over the pairs that I trade, as well as covering all the medium to high impact news for the upcoming trading week. So to start things off, on Monday, we have at 7 a.m. Federal Chair Jerome Powell speaking. On Tuesday, we have Swiss National Bank Chairman Jordan speaking. On Wednesday at London Open, we have GBP CPI. 5 a.m. on Wednesday for New York Open, we have Bank of England Governor Bailey speaking, along with Federal Chair Jerome Powell speaking. So there's going to be quite some volatility Wednesday New York Open. So that will be interesting. Thursday, there is Swiss National Bank Monetary Policy Assessment, followed by German Flash Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index. And that is an hour and a half into London Open at 1:30 a.m. Shortly after is a Swiss National Bank press conference. And we have another FOMC member speaking, Flash Services Purchasing Managers Index for the US dollar. And Friday, not really too much going on. All right, let's dive into things here. So this week I'm going to cover the usual, the Nasdaq, USDJPY, USDCAD, and then I'm going over oil and gold and Bitcoin. So here we are on the Nasdaq chart. This is the arrow that I drew last week for last week's analysis. You can see that it initially pulled back and hit this level of 12950, 1300, that range, but it did not break this level of support. Instead, there was a bullish move. For this analysis to have worked, this level would have needed to be broken, but it did not. So the market has switched from bearish to bullish for the Nasdaq right now. So I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to go to single screen real quick. Okay, so here we are on the weekly time frame. There's a large bullish candle. It broke structure on the lower time frame, so we're going to start with that. Let's see, there was a structure break right here. I'm going to remove some of these technical levels. Right here where this blue arc is, this was a higher time frame break of structure. So given that this broke, it caused this bullish move to the upside, right? And it should continue, but there may be a retracement. So we're gonna find some good buying opportunities for the Nasdaq, because this is clearly bullish. Went from a downtrending market, a bearish trend, to a bullish trend. So see here that we need possibly see a pullback on this blue line. That'd be really nice to come back and retest the previous structure, retest the previous lower high as support, or we could come down lower to the 1340 range. But I think we could see this blue line, this previous level support at 13800 holding, and then creating a higher low from there, and then attempting to make a higher high up to 1500. We drop down to the 4-hour time frame to get a little more details. Okay, so I'm gonna extend this. Yeah, the Nasdaq is clearly bullish. We have clearly transitioned from bearish structure, a bearish downtrend, to now bullish price action and bullish structure. So I'd be looking for buys right at this blue level here. This would be the first range, and if this area breaks, so you can see some detail in the lower time frame on this 4-hour. There's a higher low point that formed right here. So this would need a hold right where I have this gray zone. Actually, I'm going to change it from gray to light blue. So you can see this little zone that I just drew. This needs a hold for it to continue bullish. If it breaks, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to be bullish. It just means that it will find a lower point to perhaps respect from. But most likely, we should respect this area right here. So that's what I would be looking for the Nasdaq for this upcoming week. Next, we have USDJPY. Last week was a real bullish week for the dollar-yen pair. So let's dive into some pairs, or dive into some technical analysis here. yeah, so here are some trades that I took last week. One that didn't work out because I thought this was the top based off of the rejection and the zone here, but it did go a little bit into profit. However, it ultimately did not work, which is all good. So we can see that on the higher time frame we are really bullish, but it looks like we are a little overextended. So I'm going to remove these risk reward tools. There's a higher low right here where I have this blue line that I just moved, and there is a level of resistance here that we broke at 118.9 or 1900, around that price range. Now what the market would need to do to continue trending bullish would be to create a higher low on this point, continue higher from this area, or you can see a steeper correction down to this major low point, this major point of structure at 1184 or 1185, that price range. And that would ultimately need to hold for the market to continue its bullish trend. If not, if that area breaks, then it's going to start going bearish. But that's all I really see for UJ. There needs to be a little more direction. Where the price is now, it looks like it's going to retrace down to these lower levels here, where I have the arrows drawn. Possibly this previous point of resistance and tested as support, or even lower, this major point of structure. And if it's not respected, then it's going to transition from bullish to bearish. But we'll see what happens. I would be taking buys at this level if we get a solid bullish engulfing candles or exhaustion candles right here, or definitely down here if this level breaks. We'll see what happens. Next on, we have USDCAD. The old Louis here. Okay, so what the heck? Alright. Anyways, my bad. So let's back up on the weekly time frame. There's a large bearish engulfing candle last week. We rejected off of these previous highs. I'm gonna adjust this line here. We rejected off this previous highs. There's a large area of exhaustion right where this gray zone is. So for next week on the Canadian dollar, we should just continue bearish. Should continue down. Just get a continuation, but there may be a retracement first up to perhaps this previous point of structure. One second. I'm going to adjust these technicals so you can see a little clearer. Okay, so where I have this red arrow is and this blue line is a previous point of structure and previous point of support that was broken, and that's at 1.2750. So the market could retrace bullish up to here and then continue lower to continue to make a lower low point. However, based on where it is currently, where this red line is, red line of support, red level of support at 12625, this is also a major low point. So this area breaks, which it looks like it did based off how this candle last week closed, and this candle on the 12-hour time frame, which we're currently on, was a strong bearish candle, and same on the 4-hour. It looks like, if this little area breaks where I have this blue line, it's just going to continue down, just continue straight down. However, it looks like this could hold, and if it does hold, we may see retracement up to this blue level first, and if that breaks, then we'll go up to where I have these red arrows drawn. But either way, the market is looking pretty bearish for the USDCAD, and it should continue bearish. So we'll see what happens, but I'd be looking for sells on this pair from these levels that I have marked up. Next, we're going to look at USOIL. Now, I'm not adjusted any technicals on this from last week. As you can see, it has literally respected price perfectly from last week's analysis. We created a double bottom here at the $94, $95 range, and then made a bullish move up and retesting this previous level of support, now possibly turned resistance. And this is how price action repeatedly plays out, guys. If you're watching my tutorial videos and stuff, this is the same stuff I'm teaching. So double bottom, break up minor structure, bullish breakout, impulse lead. So what needs to happen here? There may be, let me adjust this, maybe zoom out. On the weekly, made a bearish close, but there was a lot of sellers exhaustion. On the daily, it looks like there was a higher low point being formed on this major point, the $94, $95 range. The 12-hour. Yeah, it looks like we should continue higher and retest a major level of resistance, which those levels could be at the $126, $125 barrel price range. And that's dependent on if this price at 105 breaks. If $105 a barrel breaks, then there should be a major move up to at least 115. Because there is a level of resistance here where this previous lower high is. And if 115 breaks, it's going to trigger a breakout move up to 125, 126. And if these levels are tested, it doesn't mean that it is going to continue higher. It just means that these levels need to play out and fill this larger area of price. Okay, so most likely I do see oil continuing higher based off the geopolitical situations and stuff around the world. And you know, oil and gold are a hot commodity right now, but there's two major levels here based off the higher time frame. I mean, this is 4-hour structure, but these levels will be reflective on the higher time frame as well. As you can see, it's being respected here on the 12-hour also. But anyways, the market should come up to $120 to $125 a barrel most likely. It will most likely test $115 a barrel once again. At the start of the week though, based off the current data, it could just continue pushing bullish right at the open. But it does look like this could be a potential double bottom, but based off the bullish candles, they're pretty strong closes. So we most likely will continue higher. But if it does not, it's dependent on breaking 105. If prices do not break this level of resistance at the start of the week, it's just going to come back down to retest this previous breakout point as a higher low and then continue bullish most likely. But we'll see what happens. It's all dependent on whether price action can respect these levels, but most likely oil could continue bullish if those levels hold and break to the upside. Next, we're looking at gold. So these are the same exact arrows I drew from last week on gold. Closed bearish. Closed really bearish last week. Okay, so let's go down to a lower time frame now. Yeah, so we never got this double top. We just ultimately broke down, which is I had this red arrow last week drawn as a potential scenario. So I'm going to delete these. But we can see now the market is trending bearish. However, there's a major level at 1900, right? Where the market has reacted from. And if this level holds, it's going to retrace back up to the upside like this. However, if this level breaks, then we could come all the way back down to almost $1,800. Yeah, we'll see what happens with gold here. It could go either way, but most likely markets could go down first to $1,905 to $1,900 an ounce for the price of gold, and then decide if it's going to make a double bottom / higher low point on this level of support or break and continue lower. But we'll see what happens, but most likely the first move is going to be down. Lastly, we are looking at Bitcoin. So these are the same exact arrows I had from last week's analysis. You can see that this daily candle right here is closing bearish right at this level of resistance. Now, last week I was saying we were moving sideways. We could either break down or break up, make a higher low, and continue high and make a higher high. Now it looks like this bullish scenario is playing out. I'm going to delete this and this. And now for this bullish scenario to play out, this resistance needs a break right here. We had a little downward trend line, bearish trend line here, that was respected and looks like it was broken, right? There's a lot of momentum and retested and broke to the upside still. However, we didn't break this level of resistance at 42,000. That to me is telling me we could come back down to the 38,000 range, 38,500, or I'm sorry, 39,000, $38,500 range. And if that holds, the market could continue higher and go for that higher high move. Or based off current price action, it could happen from here and go. But there's two levels to be looking at. This lower time frame level at 40,000, 40,500. And then if that does not hold, it's going to come down here. However, if neither of these levels hold, okay, as support, it just goes bearish, it breaks, and then breaks again, it's just going to keep going down. But based off of the price action, it's really dependent on if these levels can be maintained. Because Bitcoin doesn't look too bearish at the moment. Like based off the weekly time frame, you can see this was a higher low. There's a bullish. Here, I'm going to remove a lot of this stuff so you can see. See, there's a bullish engulfing candle right now on the weekly time frame, and if it closes like this is a really good indication of bullish price action, bullish momentum. Because in theory, if it was going to continue bearish, continue downward, how I was saying based off these exhaustion candles, it would have went down already. It would have went down like this, came up and did something like this, but it didn't. You can see that this situation isn't playing out. It's looking like this. Higher low. And it looks like there may be a higher high up to 45,000 and higher, but we'll see. That's all I have for this video, guys. Thanks for staying to the end and watching this weekly outlook. Hope you guys have a great trading week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow the Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.